Yo, what's up, people? This is Fit Fury, Randy. We're back, and I know it's been a minute, so sorry. And people ask what this is. This is a mask. You know, we got these mask mandates in Chicago. You probably have them in your places too, if you're in the major cities. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about the importance of relationships. I think new business owners and entrepreneurs, some of them don't understand the importance of relationship and what's that mean, relationships in your business, how important they are. And some people think about making that quick money, or they hear, ooh, you could do this and make this much money. Or I think, what is it? Oh, if you have, I don't know, if your price is $150 a month and you have 500 members, that equals $1 million, or probably a little more, or around that much. Um, and I think sometimes people don't think about how important relationships are in order to get that. Like you can actually sell, maybe you could be on pace for a month and sell maybe 100 memberships. But if those people don't stay, you won't hit that goal of 500 per month, um, 500 members, where they're paying that amount. Um, and that just makes me think about a couple of things that I hear about people when it comes to business. Number one, to maintain relationships, you got to do good business. Like I've heard people where some people pay for a service and the person kind of disappears on them, and they continuously do that to other people. Well, if you're doing that to people, you're never gonna build a business off of that. Like if you're doing something like personal training, anything that's subscription based, um, you're not going to be able to build a business off of not providing a service. And a lot of people I know do that, and they think they're going to make it big by scamming people, and it's just not going to work. Also, people that are forget their most consistent people. Like, you got consistent people. Make sure you show up. Make sure you treat those people like they're important. The longer they're there, the more important they are, just because of that loyalty that they have to you, and probably the referrals they're giving to you. I see a lot of people, when they have people in that's been there, they almost get complacent, like, I got this new business coming in. Who are you? And it's very hard to get consistent people that are going to be loyal to you if you're not doing a good job. But just in general, in business, trying to get new people for high ticket items to be consistently paying it every month, you have to give them a reason to actually stay there. So some of the basics is do good business to maintain your relationships. And that's probably one of the more important things that you have to do. But then when it goes far beyond that, in creating relationships, and I've failed at this. Sometimes when you're a entrepreneur that works alone, um, we tend to fail at trying to focus on our stuff and not kind of being out talking and building relationships with people that can do things that can also help our business or send referrals out to our business. And it could be hard. I'm gonna tell you, because some people, there's so many people that do horrible business. There's so many people trying to get over. They don't understand working together. So they want you to give, and they don't give anything back. They want to take off of what you have built and not give anything back to that, and kind of suck you dry of what you've built. But the thing is, if that's happened, I know that can, make things hard to work with people. Trust me, I know, because I don't like working with people like that. But it's important to move past that and realize staying to yourself is not the way that your business is going to grow. You got to be able to start to read the signs from trial and error of people that are not what they say they are, or people that are not in certain spaces. For me, if you're not in the right space, I'm probably not going to do business with you. If you haven't kind of grown something, I'm not going to do business with you. I might have talk to your mindset, see how what your mindset is, and eventually I might say, hey, join in. Or I might give people a chance and they end up blowing their chance, whether they don't show up on time, or they I'll give y'all a quick story. All right, I'm not gonna get too detailed, but I'm explaining. So a guy inboxed me. He said, "Hey, for one of my gyms, it's like I want to provide meals for your people." I said, "Okay, great." He's like starting up as an entrepreneur, but he had been an entrepreneur for a while, from what I hear. It's like, "I want to sell meals to your people." So I said, "Okay, cool." Met the guy, seemed to be cool. Seemed to be on his stuff, because a lot of people had a gift of gab. And what happened was, he was supposed to meet me at a certain time, where my busiest time. I said, "Hey," before he wanted to lock me into 12 months of me buying into his meals, which is, you think weekly you're paying for something around $200, where people have to buy it out and bring it back to you. Those people have to promote their stuff. But you might be stuck with a bill, and are these people going to provide and bring those salads or whatever it is on time, right? So he wanted to lock me into a deal of just reoccurring payments, which is subscription based. But what is that about? Relationships. So to build that relationship, I said, "Hey, show up around this time. It's my busiest hour. Show me around my busiest hour, and let me, and then bring all your products. It's the busiest hour. It'll probably sell out." So 6 o'clock, no show. 48 minutes later, I'm just telling all the business. I'm horrible at this, hiding stuff. 48 minutes later, shows up. Luckily, people were still there, selling out of the salads, right? And I'm like, okay, that's great, but I was feeling some type of way. When you show up late for me, that's almost guaranteed you will not work in any facility that I have, and I will be very skeptical if you can't show up or not, especially if you show up 48 minutes late without even saying, hey, without even saying anything before the time you're supposed to be there. If the communication is good, I might be okay. But anyways, after that, he bought some extra salad and say, "Hey, I'm gonna leave these here, and I'll send you the invoice." Okay, cool. Now, what happened was, people loved the food that this person bought, and they reached out to him, but it was a delay on delivering. And also, I bought some stuff and it was a little delayed on delivery, but it was almost like it was trying to sneak stuff onto the invoice. All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this on there. And it was like kind of building it. And it was kind of like, in business, you have to create trusting relationships. Hey, this is what I want to do. Hey, do you mind if I do that? The little sleazy salesman tactics are old, especially for small businesses. Bigger businesses, corporations, big, they might go for that. But small businesses, when I'm thinking like $1 million and less, or $2 million and less, when you play those games, you're looking like a sleazy salesperson trying to add on to the invoice and not being open, especially when you got a good product. No reason for you to lie. People are going to side-eye you, especially in the beginning of your relationship, right? So anyways, after that, I just was like, "Hey, just send me the invoice." Now, the invoice came out and it was only a ACH payment. So in order to do that, it's through you have to give your accounting and routing number information up. This is one of the biggest ways people's bank accounts and business bank accounts get frauded from those things. I was never given an option to do credit cards, to do my credit card instead, because I know I'm safe. I use my American Express or something. I'm safe. I know if anything happens, I could talk to them and it could be resolved. But that was the first and only option. And I'm just thinking, whoa, like this doesn't even feel right, especially the platform that was used was a platform that was a free app. Now, when you think about free apps, it almost feels good, but your customers are going to be, what about security? So you want me to send my banking information over to a free app? to pay for something. And not only that, is when you give your banking information, they can kind of pull from that anytime they want to, until you shut it down. And by that time, it'll be too late. So there has to be some kind of trusting relationship there, right? In the beginning, there needs to be a lot of communication so I can learn to trust. Or, I mean, let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Don't you, there has to be a strong relationship before you start jumping in with people or expecting people to be willing to invest that much trust in you. And I think after that, what I end up doing is say, hey, you know what? I don't feel comfortable paying this. Can you send me an invoice that I could pay with my card and a couple of more products, and I'll pay for it that way. So I end up asking for more of what the person was selling in order to just pay with my credit card, because I'm like, I don't trust the other way. So anyways, the person then sends me the same app, which now it appears where they had the ACH, but also they had where you could pay with your credit card. And I'm like, why didn't he send those two options in the beginning? Now it made me more skeptical, but maybe I'm a worrisome guy, but it's like, why wasn't that the first, why couldn't I have a choice? Anyways, they bring the product late. There's no communication about bringing it late until the day after it was bought, supposed to be here. And then when they come in, they try to upcharge again. And then for something else that they forgot to bring, that they didn't charge for before. And then they never bought this thing back. And all I could think about is, imagine if I was locked into a reoccurring business deal with this person. And all it made me think about is to explain to y'all today the importance of building relationships properly, being honest, and just making sure you're consistent. Now, on the other hand, I'll give you a little quick insight on my business, why people are willing to invest and pay for memberships up front, to be locked into, to have their account auto drawn. Because number one, even though as a small business, they know whenever they show up, I or my instructors are going to be there. Whenever they have an issue, they know they can call in, and that issue will be resolved fairly. And over time, when they hear, they know it's going to be the best, best it works, or it's by the book. It's not going to be any sleazy stuff. And over the years, I've built relationships with these people. That's why they can say, people will ask, well, how do you get people to invest in 50, 100, or pay for 10,000 up front or for the year? It's because of the relationships I built over time. Like, when people know they could depend on you, you're good at what you do, you got good work, people can invest in you. And that is the key to creating a team that can create that type of mentality for the members or whatever you're doing, or your subscribers, to continually come back because they know they're in good hands. When you're doing just bad work or you're just unprofessional, you're gonna stunt your growth. And that's the same thing as if you're showing up late all the time, if you're canceling last minute or just canceling all the time, you're unreliable. Don't expect to build a big business, a real business, because you're killing your relationships. And I can't tell you enough that part of the business relationship is important, and getting out and meeting more entrepreneurs that know how to work together and have the same objective in mind to create, success together and do fair business where you both can grow and everybody can get money, and just people that know things that you don't know. It's very important. It's very important. It's very important. And the bigger network you build with good people, the better. I mean, I know some good teams that I love to see. I know I brought this up before, but I look at one of my favorite car YouTubers is Daily Driven Exotics, and I look at their team They have so much fun. They work together. They're not trying to outshine each other. They have a great chemistry, and they do very well together. So but also they are, because they work together and they have this great relationship, they're able to solve problems without destroying the whole thing, or someone feeling left out or whatever. They all know they have a common goal for success. And That's pretty much the point that I wanted to make on relationships, just in general. If you are antisocial like me, number one, I would tell you to get into spaces of where they have big workshops of what you do, because it's going to draw you out, because people are talking about things that you're passionate about. But get out there, meet some people that are really doing something, and you could see by their work. If they have nothing to show, and they don't have that drive, I would tell you to think twice about it. Anyways, just wanted to bring that up. Glad to be back on here. Leave me a comment or like below, and we'll talk about it when. Let me know what you think. And I got some good stuff coming, so stay tuned. And I'll see you next time. Peace.